Hello everyone and welcome back to another Corepunk video. This video is a video that I've been dreaming about making for you guys, and it's finally happening because I just played Corepunk. Yeah, I know many of you has always been very, some of you didn't even believe that I would ever play this game or this game would ever release or something like that, but to be honest, I played it. I played freaking 4 hours of Corepunk. So what happened was today or yesterday, since it's very late now, but yesterday on the 30th of September, so basically the last day of September, which was a Saturday, 21 people got invited. 21 people got invited to play the Corepunk playtest. They talked about it on their website as well. And with 21 people, we got invited. We created a private Discord group where we all chatting together, playing the game. And this video today is about my experience. So we are not allowed to share screenshots or videos. But what I can tell you is the video you see in the background right now is exactly how the game looks like and feels like. There's no difference. You know what I mean? Like this, it's not a fake game, it's not fake graphics, what you're seeing right now in the background. What you see in the background right now is the game. Yeah, so let's get to it. So just to let you know, again, this is basically going to be me explaining what I did in the beta, or not a beta, it's not a beta, it's a test. It's a playtest. I'm gonna take you through my journey in the game. I'm not gonna give you small details, but more like what did I do, what happened, and how did it feel. So if you're into Corepunk and you are really excited about it and you just want to know more about this game, we're gonna talk about it now. So basically, the first thing you do when of course you get the game, you have a very nice looking launcher which you log in through. Once you get into the game, you have to create a character. You get a very cool character creation. It's great. Like the character creation in the game feels very good. Just like you have different options you can do. The characters itself, the graphic on the characters looks amazing, and I feel like you have enough options to make your character very personally. In this playtest, we only had 3 different builds, like 3 different specs we could play. So we had, for example, one of the champions, one of the heroes we could play was the champion, the bomber, and the warmonger. And the champion we were playing, we were only allowed to play the build, the spec. Like, you know, in other MMOs you have like specs in different classes. And for the champion we were allowed to play the destroyer. For the bomber we were allowed to play the blast medic. And for the warmonger we were allowed to play the legionary. So basically 3 specs of characters we were allowed to play. I myself created the destroyer. So, you know, the champion, which is basically like a warrior, and destroyer, which is basically kind of like a, you know, a warrior build where you have a 2-hand weapon and do a lot of damage and spinning around, you know, classic barbarian / warrior style. So once you kind of like get through the character creation, you get thrown into a starter zone, which reminds a lot of starter zones in, I would say, other MMOs. I'm not gonna mention other games, but I'm just gonna say it reminds a lot of other MMOs with the starting zone. You know, you have this typical MMO where you have a starting zone for level 1 to 6, where when you level 6 you kind of leave the starting zone and you start going out on a real adventure. That was what we were actually allowed to test in this playtest, this starting zone from level 1 to 6. And there was, you know, the standard questers, you know, fetch questers, you know, please go and kill these rats for me because they are annoying. Go deliver those items over there. Get some wood for us, go out and log some woods, because then I'm gonna learn you some recipes. You know, there was all the good traditional quests in on MMOs. The difference about questing from other MMOs to this MMO is that, do you remember back in 2004 and other games where when you played an MMO, you had to kind of read the quest and you had to maybe even Google a bit about where the quest could be? They kind of run in the same questing system here, where you need to kind of read the quest and find out where to go. They don't have like a big fat arrow telling you to go that way. And of course I know some people is gonna hate that, some people is gonna like that, because I talk with a lot of people who are playing now, and some people actually enjoyed it, that they had actually to like find out where to find the quest. Like, you know, they had to like learn where the quest was. It was kind of like an adventure, if you know what I mean. And then you have casual people who I'm probably gonna like specify myself as one of those casual people who just like to turn off the brain and just follow the arrow. But in some way it also felt refreshing that I actually had to read the quest and even ask my friends where it was. You know, it was kind of like refreshing, because next time you create a character, you know where the quest is. You don't have to think about where the quest is, because you know already where the quest is. It's just like for the first time you have the quest, you need to find out where it is. And it was interesting to try that again, because last time I tried that was, you know, back in 2004, when you played, you know, good old MMOs where you had to find the quest yourself, and you know, you didn't have any quest arrow telling you where to go. But who knows, maybe in this game, Corepunk, we will get tools later in the game that's going to help us finding quests. We don't know, maybe we're going to get like a compass, radar, anything. It's still a very early game, it's very, you know, it's early in the progress, and it's just like how it was now. But still, overall, the questing was fine. I enjoyed the quests, even though the drop rates on some of the quest items was pretty low. We had like a quest where we need to get like 2 rats, like 2 fur from a rat, like these mutant rats. And I think I killed around 50 of them, and I still didn't get a single of the drops from them. So, you know, again, it's very early in the game process, so these quests here might need some balance changing on how often they should drop these furs or these quest objective items. But overall, the other quests I did was fun. All the NPCs are actually talking, you know, when you speak with them, they actually have voiceovers. They're talking with you, so you can like hear them. And you can like ask them different things. Like when you talk with an NPC, you can like ask them, who are you? Where are we? What are you doing? Do you need help? Like, you know, you can ask them different things. You can like learn stuff about that NPC and what they're doing and why they're here and where are we. So kind of interesting. There was like some kind of like a main quest in the game, but we couldn't really continue it because it kind of went out of that starting zone, so we couldn't leave it. Because if we left that starter zone, we would get into like radioactive zone where we would get killed. But for example, now since we're talking about getting killed, it's very traditional MMO. When you die, you release as a spirit and you had to run to your corpse. And if you don't want to run through your corpse, you can talk with the stone you are releasing at and basically spawn there with a debuff. And you're not losing experience points when you die, which I'm happy for. I'm actually not a big fan of games where you lose experience points when dying, because it feels like a step back. Like you can move forward, but step back every time you die, which can probably be discussed. But yeah. But still, we created the character, we went in and do questing, and just feeling the world, and it was nice. It's probably the first time I've ever played an MMO that felt this way, because you know, the way you control your character reminds a lot of how you control your character. So I'm actually mentioning other games now, but you know, Warcraft 3, the way you control your hero in Warcraft 3 is how Corepunk feels with your hero here. So basically, of course, here you can lock the camera, You can unlock the camera, but the way the fog of war works, you know, when you're standing here, you can see the area around you, but the moment, you know, there's like a tree or something else, you cannot see behind it. Kind of like in Warcraft, but with fog of war, how it works. The same here. You control the character the same way. You right click where you want to go, same as, you know, Warcraft Dota. You can even press A and left click somewhere and you're gonna attack move to that place. So basically you're moving to where you're clicking and attacking everything at the same time. It's just like a totally different way like playing an MMO, because normally you have MMOs like, you know, Diablo, Path of Exile, Lost Ark, where it's all about like, you know, that's more like an ARPG, if you know what I mean, like a slash, what's it called, you know what I mean, like slash combat, where you like more like attack with your mouse and stuff like that. But here you can basically right click on the monster you're attacking and then it just auto attacks. So when so if you for example have like a bad hand wrist or you don't like clicking a lot on your mouse, this game is gonna be good for you, because you can basically right click on the mobs and you know, it's gonna keep attacking it and following it automatically. You know, just if you play Dota, just if you play League of Legends, Warcraft 3, you know how it works. It feels the same way, and I like it. It's original, it's classic, it's, you know, they're taking a good, you know, way on how to handle the combat. So I'm not trying to, you know, only sound positive. I'm just like, you know, trying to give my honest opinion about, you know, the game I just played for 4 hours. And I mean, the servers has just closed and I'm already here sitting here talking about it. I'm also gonna come back with some more people and talk with them about like a podcast-ish. We're gonna talk together about the game. But I just kind of like wanted to share this video here where I'm talking about like my first impression about Corepunk and how I feel about it. And I'm positive. I'm very positive. So also in this game here, there was like this village, and there was this NPC called Big Mama, and we actually often visited her because she was like close to the crafting station for cooking. And it kind of just became like a social space where people, they just gathered. So both players were standing there and developers were standing there, and it was just like a social spot suddenly. And people were chatting, laughing, trading, dueling. It was fun. Like the last 1 hour we were online before the servers closed, we were dueling each other's, we were laughing, talking, we even followed one of the developers around. We might also kill that developer in a forest. That wasn't my idea, that was some in my party's idea that felt it was a good idea to kill the developer who's walking around with us. But not mentioning names, but you know who you are, who's responsible for his death. That's the thing in this game. You have like safe zones, and then when you leave safe zones, you can press P, I think it was, and then basically you are enabling PvP, and you can attack other people in open world PvP, or you can not press P and just, you know, don't attack people. But my teammates, they decided pressing P and attacking the developer who was not in our party. If he was in our party, of course, we couldn't attack him, but they decided to attack him. So that was fun. I don't know if the developer thought it was fun, but yeah. My team laughed and had a good time. But just so you understand, we created our character, we went into the starting zone, it was full of questers. And one thing that is for sure, every time you find an NPC, talk with them, because when you talk with them, they are possibly having a hidden quest for you. You know, just like it's not like hidden, but you need to actually talk to the NPC and have a conversation with them, and then they give you a quest, which is interesting. So in other MMOs, if you don't see, like, you know, the quest marker on both the head, you would normally ignore the NPC, but in this game you actually talk with every single NPC to see what they are selling and if they have a hidden quest. Which was interesting, because now you kind of want to talk with everyone in the world and find out, you know, what's going on and what's happening, which I actually think was interesting. So they managed to create a world that felt very living, has ecosystem, great sounds, like music and voice in the background. It was very living with people. Like, I mean, even though you were only 21 people, it was still felt alive. And yeah, it just felt good. I'm actually very surprised. There is so that's basically all the content. You know, we created the character, we did questing, walking around, crafting, harvesting, you know, cutting down trees, ores, stuff like that. There is one thing that I felt was a bit weird. So in this game here, you don't. In this game here, you don't have health and mana regeneration when you start. Maybe with items you find later in the game, they may be gonna have health and mana regeneration, which is fine. But as a default, when you're level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you don't have artifact items, you don't have health regeneration and you don't have mana regeneration. And I think a lot of us, we agree that it kind of felt weird, because when you have just attacked like 2 mobs and you kill them, you maybe have like 30% HP back, but you're not restoring HP or mana back automatically. You have to go out and find food, buy medics, or, you know, like buy painkillers from NPCs to restore health and mana over 10 seconds. So that means like every time you fought or battled, you don't like restore like HP mana automatically. You need to like use items like food, painkillers, watermelon, stuff like that before you actually get back. Or you could set up a campfire, which increases how much mana and HP you get, plus it also of course gives you mana and HP back. And we kind of like felt like, you know, it would be nice if you just like had passively always +1 mana and health, because then when you're walking around looking for your next quest or whatever it is, you would have normally automatically full health and full mana, which in this playtest here you didn't have. And you can probably see the video here in the background. This guy here, he keeps restoring health even though he doesn't have eaten anything. So I assume it's gonna be fixed when you get to high level, when you actually get items that has HP and mana regeneration. So I think it's only like a low level issue, and it might come with high level. But some of the guys and me, we talked about it would maybe help if everyone just like had +1 mana and health restoration, just 1, so you get like 1 every second, or have like a campfire in the middle of the cities that is always active, so you can always go back to the city, get HP, and go out of the city again. Possibly. That was like, I think, the biggest concerns me and the guys had. And you can hear that if that's the only concern we have, I think it's a good sign. Because we enjoyed the combat, we enjoyed the graphics, the performance of the game was running very well. I always had like 70 frame rate, sometimes 99, 70, 60. Was always pretty good. It worked on my ultra wide screen, so you know, like the very long screen, worked like a charm. Didn't have any problems, like technical problems at all. I just, you know, downloaded the game, installed it, activated my key, and that was it. We were able to party with each other. There was like no social box, no chat box. I don't even think I found a bug in the game. No. I'm very surprised how polished it was. Like, you know, I didn't find an issue at all. I mean, again, see, it's a fun thing to say, but I think this is the hardest MMO I've tried. If you know, like, don't take this as a negative thing. I think it's challenging. Recently, I played a lot of classic hardcore, which reminds me of how hard an MMO was back in the days. And you cannot just like pull 10 mobs and just kill them. You have actually to use your brain to think about how many people you're gonna pull now and attack. And Corepunk kind of gave me that vibe again, that yeah, there's 3 rats over there, but you can probably not do that alone. You should probably find a place where there's only 2 rats, or you know, something like that. And that was just interesting to me. Like, this game is actually, it's not like a walk in a park, if you know what I mean. It's not, you don't just log in and kill anything and become max level. It actually requires some grind and some skills, I would say. So, and again, not as a bad thing, probably as a good thing, because it actually requires you. And again, that's back to the questing again. You have to read the quest, you have to find the quest, you have to find the mobs, you have to kill the mobs, and you actually need to play against the mobs and not just like you look away and press 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like you would in other MMOs. So, how can I say? I guess it felt like an MMO for adults, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, it was an MMO where you have to think, you have to be there, be in your mind, which was interesting. Very different from other popular MMOs right now, where you basically just can turn off your brain and just follow a path, which it's gonna tell you, go that way, press this button all the time, and then you'll kill anything. That was not the case here. But when we ran around 4 or 8 people together in this open world terrain that you're seeing in the background video right now, it felt amazing. We all looked like a bunch of noobs because, you know, we were low level and we had, like, most of us was actually naked because we sold our gear, because the gear doesn't give you any stats. That's the artifact you see down in the corner over there next to the weapon. Those give stats, items like in League and Dota. The armor you have on is just pure cosmetic, so we sold them to get more gold. So we kind of like ran around as naked. And then we tried selling all our stuff and giving me the gold, and so I could try and buy a new weapon. Just for fun to see what happened once I buy a new weapon. Yeah. So, for you out there who's very curious about how this game feels and if it's worth, and you know, I mean, it's very early in the process, so I can't really say if it's worth or not, you know what I mean? But it was fun. I enjoyed it, and when I talk with other people all about it, they enjoyed it as well. Again, we logged in, we created the character, we played the starting zone, which we were only allowed to be in. We were doing questing, and I guess if I could say, imagine Warcraft 3/Dota 2, where you have a big open world, you just have your single hero, you run around, clear camps, clear monsters, do questing, and it's an MMO with other people. If someone came to me and said that, close your eyes, imagine Dota 2, where you run around, kill mobs, level up your character, but you keep your character forever, because it's an MMO, and it's a very big world where you can do tons of stuff. I would say that's a lie. Shut up, that's a lie. That doesn't exist. But it does now. It does now. And I played it. One of the 21 people who got invited to play this game, I played it. And this was the game. And I'm not saying they're ripping off Dota, because Dota ripped off Warcraft. And Warcraft probably ripped off another game. It's just a gameplay style, which Corepunk has also, you know, taken and said, we can do something nice with this. And they have. So, good playtest. I enjoyed it. Of course, there was something with the difficulties. It was a hard game. You're dying in it. The health, mana regeneration, some of the mobs are very strong. But I liked it. I would play it again. If the servers were open now, the game was released in early access right now, I would pay for it. I would play it, I would stream it, I would make videos about it daily. It was a good game. So overall, smooth game, great game. Maybe could use some changes, maybe could do some enhances, maybe all 21 of us, we're gonna do feedback now back to the developers. And I could easily hear that many of us has the same opinions about what things should maybe get changed, what should be prioritized, you know. We wasn't like very differently. We were kind of like close to each other on the same aspects of things we wanted to change or maybe improved, or maybe they should look at again, stuff like that. But all, it was fun. So if you're sitting there right now excited for this game, there is a reason to be excited, because it was hella fun and I had a good time. And again, maybe you think like what I'm saying right now is bad or poor, but it was literally a character creation. You're logging in, you're running around this smooth world, you have your character with your spells, as you can see the background right now, QWE. Every time you level up, you select a new spell. You have special abilities where you can press T as this hero, this guy he was playing right now. That was the guy I played in game also. You take breaks for eating food, mana. It was just fun. I like that. So that's why I made this video right now after playing it, because I just wanted to let you all know that I enjoyed it. I had a good time. And I would definitely play again. And I'm very excited for the next playtest. So, yeah. I think that's it, or else I'm gonna keep repeating myself. Because I've told you everything we did in the game, how it felt, pros, cons, I guess. You know, pros, cons. Yeah. I'm gonna wait with the more detailed pros, cons till the playtest where we can actually show gameplay. Because that's gonna give you more sense, that I can actually show you what I'm talking about. But since I'm not allowed to show you any video screenshots, we're just gonna keep it for this. So, Corepunk fans out there, if you are worried about if you should be excited or not excited about this game, you should definitely be excited, because this game is good. This is it. This is what we have all waited for sure. So, thanks for watching. Have a great day, have a great evening, and I'll see you soon. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I can show you gameplay videos streaming soon of the game and answer all your questions that you will have. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you soon in Corepunk. Peace out.